Good morning, Yankees universe. Welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew. I'm your guy, Hector. Like always, I am joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. Check out the intro, and we will be right back.
Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat. Really, y'all don't know this, y'all in danger. I'm a threat. I'm a gamble with your life, cause you know that it's a bet. You know I ain't letting up, my foot is on your neck. Take my word for it, it's a promise and a threat.
Oh, what's up, Yankees universe? Welcome back, like I said, to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Friday, June 23rd. I'm your guy, Hector, joined by my co-host, Mr. TC Stills. TC, how are you doing this morning?
I'm good. Friday, I'm feeling good, but hey, those Yankees, man, they are stinky.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing?
We were able to win a series, right? We had a chance to get the sweep, but of course, the Yankees aren't going to let us have anything nice. We can't have anything nice nowadays. They had to show up, lay the egg. I think what it was, the team, they know that they won a series without Aaron Judge, and for the last game, they was like, all right, we won the series. We don't got to do anything else. We checking out Domingo Germán, who was probably one of our most consistent starters behind Garrett Cole for a stretch of time. Over the past two starts has imploded. This is a total 180 when it comes to Domingo Germán. His ERA has ballooned to, I believe, 5 right now, if I'm not mistaken. But Domingo Germán, no control, no movement really on that breaking pitch, nothing at all. He looked dead in the water. And if we're going to lose a game 10-0, you might as well let Domingo Germán pitch the entire game at this point. What's your thoughts, TC?
Yeah, Boone was, just letting him go out there and take up some innings. He didn't want to, burn out the bullpen on a game that basically when it was 4-5-0, the game was over because might as well be 100-0. The way the Yankees hit.
So, Damian Serrano right here in the chat said, hold on, man, I got to pull it up. We gave up more runs in one game than we scored in all 3 games. Oh, yeah. Yes, absolutely. 100%, Damian. Let's do a little bit of the roll call before we continue, TC, if that's all cool. Let's give a shout out to Unpopular Opinion in the building. Pop, how you doing? Damian Serrano, what it do? Mr. James Cook is in the building. Anthony Medina de la Isla is in the building. Jiggaman Porto, how you doing, Portito?
Hey,
Sunil is in the building. NFE, how are you doing? We appreciate everybody for showing up. Of course, I can't forget Anthony Garcia, Casey Funtime, and Sean Browning. We appreciate all you guys for showing up. We got 15 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button. And also, we are sitting on 752 subscribers. Appreciate all the new subs to the channel. If you're watching this for the first time and you aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. It does wonders for us when it comes to the channel and the growth. We are all growing right here. But TC, give me your thoughts. Yesterday, it was literally just a dumpster fire. What's your thoughts on it, TC?
Yeah, it was a circus. It was an absolute circus. One thing led to another, errors on errors. That one inning with Donaldson bobbling the ball, throwing it away, and then Rizzo's losing focus. He's stabbing at the ball. It's carried over to everybody. Their at bats is now carried over to the field. It's a disease, and this team has. I don't know what the recipe is to fix this. Donaldson, bye, but everything else, the rest of the players, they are struggling. DJ, he's struggling. Stanton, I thought we were going to get no hit, honestly.
That's what it was looking like. That's what it was looking like for a long time, during that game.
Like a funeral service out there. dead in the water. They have no drive,
Hmm.
there's nothing, no excitement. I mean, it's horrible to watch. It really
Hmm.
is.
It's tough to watch. And what is it with the opposing team throwing out an opener? Anytime there's an opener, I feel like we just don't show up for it. Whenever there's an opener with a high ERA, Yankee fans were like, all right, now it's time for the offense to show up and actually
Yeah,
do some damage. And no, what is it? Wu was his name. He shut us down for
yeah,
3 innings.
woo.
He killed us, bro. Our offense wasn't ready for nothing. We'll get into the John Carlos Stanton and the Josh Donaldson conversation because we're gonna have to do that. But before we do that, we gotta shout out Yankees Farm. My guy Carlos is in the building. Los, how you doing? Don Sicario is in the building. Big time Jerry is in the building. Jerry, how you doing, my
That's
guy?
the guy. That's the guy.
Lorenzo Cardona's in the building. Ayo Enzo, how you doing, my guy? Also, guys, it's Open Panel Friday. So the link for the open panel will be going out around like 11:30, 11:45. Let's get more people in here so we can have a nice conversation when it comes to the open panel.
Get
Yankee
everything off your
fans,
chest.
yes, like TC said, Yankee fans, you are going to be allowed to get everything off of your chest. But TC,
Yeah.
what was your thoughts on Herman? I know you brought up JD and Stanton. We'll talk about them. But
Yeah.
what's your take when it comes to Herman? We were joking around that the way that he's been pitching, he's knocking on the door of being at the All-Star game, but it's not like that anymore. What's your take when
Yeah.
it comes to Herman? Do you think he's just overused, gas? What's your assessment?
It could be. Yeah, he could have hit the wall of being overused. But yeah, the last three starts have been horrible. I mean, the last one was in Boston. Our last when we got beat down, just like
Mm-hmm.
last night. His pitches are. He doesn't have the same bite on the curve. The balls are
Mm-hmm.
just sitting there. Just I mean, they're just meatballs for these guys to hit. I don't know if he's tipping pitches now, or it just looked flat. He didn't care. It looked like he didn't even give a what. But uh, I don't know. Our pitching's like on life support, and Rodon
Mm-hmm.
coming back is like, I mean, it's not going to be soon enough. I mean, we need him, and we need Nestor back. Hopefully, he can get back to form. But yeah, I think it's about time Herman either went to the pen or got traded. I think
Mm-hmm.
he's. It looks like he's about cooked this year.
Yeah, it's having a conversation about who the Yankees should target when it comes to the trade deadline. We brought up a left fielder, we brought up the bullpen, but it seems like we may have to go out there and get us another starter because
Yeah.
as good of a job Domingo Herman has done, this is what he is. This is the best of Domingo Herman that you're going to get. We got Clark Smith going tonight against the Texas Rangers. We may have to hold our nose because tonight it may be another clunker because Texas, if they aren't the best offense in baseball, they're one of the best offense in baseball. I want to I want to pull up a chat real quick. Don Sicario said, Hector with the fancy shirt, all business today, puñeta, mira cabrón. I'm here because I'm trying to get that job in the Yankees front office, bro. We need some real-time energy in that front office. But like Casey Funtime said, inconsistent. Inconsistent outside of Garrett Cole. Our entire starting rotation has been very inconsistent. I think I got another one right here. Alan Landsman, what it do? Yankees have 4 pitchers with at least 10 starts and a 4.60 ERA or higher this season. That's most of any team in Major League Baseball. That's concerning.
I got something for you though, Hector. What do
Go
you
ahead.
think? What do you think about Brito or Vasquez replacing Herman? I mean, they both looked pretty good their last starts.
Listen, they both pitch well when they're here in the majors. I'm not sure if it's because they're more focused, but they do pitch better when they're up here at the majors. When you look at their numbers at Scranton and AAA, aren't the best numbers in the world. I think Brito is pitching to a 7+ ERA before being called up here.
He looked fantastic.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it's working up here at the major league level, we're going to have to get whatever we can out of this minor league system, especially when it comes to pitching.
Yeah, because the game we thought we would lose, Castillo against Brito, we come through
won
with a victory, and then we go against Wu with Herman. We're thinking, okay, we have a good shot at this, and it's
And
just
that's the one we crap the bed at.
yeah, exactly. Uh, it's hard to it's hard to predict this team. I mean, they're so inconsistent. It's so
But
bad.
if there was one thing that we know, baseball, it's a sport that you can't predict. It's unpredictable, right? Because
Very
the
unpredictable.
odds when it comes to baseball are more than any other sports or more than any other professional sports. But when you look at it, the team should never be built around one player. It should be
Yeah.
built around a cast of players. And that's the issue right now that we have with the New York Yankees. We are a team that is built around Aaron Judge. And as long as Aaron Judge is rolling and doing good, then this team is going to be rolling and doing good. When Aaron
Right.
Judge is not in the lineup, we are scratching and clawing just to try to get a couple of runs across the board. As soon as it was 4-0, and I kid you not, TC, as soon as it was 4-0, all my hopes went out the window. I had no hope for this game. Once it got to 4-0, I was like, God damn, let me at least turn on Pete so I could get some excitement watching this team and talking about my guy Pete. My guy Pete is in the chat.
How you
Pete
doing? How you
Simonetti,
doing? How you doing? How
NYY
you
News TV. Hey, yo, Petey, my guy. Nah, but that's my brother right there, Pete.
Yeah.
And also, I can't.
If it wasn't for Pete, we would lose our minds. Seriously.
No, it definitely would be.
Yeah.
Definitely would be. But on top of it, I can't express to you guys how much the relationship between myself, Jigga, and Pete has. There's no words that you can put in that relationship that we are building. And what we are doing outside of the content creating stuff, creating events for the fans, by the fans. September 23rd, yes, it's going to be at Yankee Stadium, but the after party afterwards is going to be amazing. You guys aren't going to want to miss it. No, and I see people talking about, oh, well, the Yankees aren't performing well. You know, why should we spend money to go
Honestly,
to the
I wouldn't
stadium?
even care about the game.
When it comes to the Yankees, right, we all know the Yankees are going to be in the wild card. This event, September 23rd, this is more for us than it is for the New York Yankees. Exactly. Yes, we are going there to watch the Yankees, but at the same time, we are going there to connect with a community that we've been sharing the same frustrations with over the past year and some change, right? So if you're going to go to the stadium, you're not going to the stadium to watch the New York Yankees per se. You're going to the stadium to hang out with a community that we all share the same interests. Is saying Brian Cashman's is trash and rooting for this team. That's the only reason we're going to hang out there, right? But boom, links right there in the chat. Make sure you grab your ticket. Like Anthony Garcia said, how you doing? How you doing, my guy?
Left,
how you doing? I want to read the stat lines from yesterday, right? DJ LeMahieu led it off after being off for a couple of days. He was 0 for 4. His batting average is 228. Gleyber Torres, he was 1 for 4 yesterday with a 253 batting average. Anthony Rizzo was 1 for 2. His batting average is rising high, is at 268. He had that error in the field. We'll talk about that. Giancarlo Stanton, another 0 for 3 night, 1 strikeout. His batting average is 190. Josh Donaldson, another 0 for 3 and another night of him getting booed by the fans. He has a batting average of 127. Billy McKinney, he had a hit. He was 1 for 3. Batting average is at 318. I'm kind of surprised to see what we're getting out of Billy McKinney. I'm here for it. Harrison Bader, he was 0 for 4 with a 248 batting average. Kyle Higashioka, 0 for 4 with a 221 batting average. Anthony Volpe, he was 0 for 2 with a 196 batting average. The reason one hit, 1 for 2. The reason why I bring up these stats, the reason why I bring up the box score is because who in this lineup are you getting excited for? TC, I'm going to ask you, out of everyone that we have in our lineup, who are you getting excited for? Who are you building up your nighttime watch when it comes to watching the games at nighttime? Who are you sitting down? Who are you grabbing a popcorn for to watch their at-bats? Because me, ain't no one in this lineup that gets me excited. No one whatsoever. What's your thoughts, TC?
Well, it's the new M&M boys, Bowers and McKinney.
Man, McKinney.
And, you know, they're carrying the team. These guys weren't even thought of on in spring training, and yet they're carrying the load for LeMahieu and Torres and Rizzo and Stanton and Donaldson. It's crazy. I won't even pay attention to Stanton's at bats. They're awful,
Mm-hmm.
terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And there's nobody. I mean, yeah, I'm glad, but Bader's back. I don't know. It's gonna take him some time to get going, but yeah, and even Anthony Volpe. I look forward to seeing the kid. I want to see this
Mm-hmm.
kid succeed, but it's day in day out of struggles. He's just not hitting. So it's just very frustrating to even watch this team. It's wow. I don't know. I don't know. Is there a recipe to fix this, Hector? What happens here? What are we doing?
I don't know. If there's anything to be excited about, it's the fact that Anthony Volpe, 2 nights back to back, he has a hit, and 2 nights back to back. That's really the only thing to be excited
Yeah,
for.
he's not stealing any bases though.
Isaiah kind of left for striking people out and hitting home runs in the same game. That may be something to get excited for. But when you're looking at this team, my guy Seven in the chat, he said we are fully operational Death Star. We are something. I don't think we are a Death Star, but we are something, all right. It's just excuses from the front office, from Aaron Boone, and you saw it. And we're gonna get into the play for Josh Donaldson, right? You saw it yesterday. Almost every at bat, the fans were just ready just to boo. You know the boos are gonna come. Aaron Boone was asked about the Yankees' defensive miscues in that third inning, including 3 errors. Aaron Boone said, I get it. It's a talking thing. But we are talking about 2 great defenders on the corner, Josh Donaldson and Anthony Rizzo. They made a mistake in a game that we are giving up. So basically, he is saying that they already had it in their mind that they were giving up that game. So mistakes, when they happen, it's just mistakes. It was already a game that we're giving up. Is there anything really to look into? There is no accountability. We talked about it on the show yesterday with our friends Sandy and Julian. We said the word of the day is accountability. And this front office, if they had a Scrabble board and they had those pieces out in front of them, they wouldn't be able to spell the shit out on the table. Go ahead, TC.
Yeah, accountability it equals, the no accountability, no discipline for this team equals a sloppy, who cares attitude. And you see it. I can play, subpar baseball. I'm still going to be penciled in 5th batter, 3rd batter, lead off. It doesn't matter. If Boone had the balls to start benching these guys, or even just, send them down, or put them on the IL for no reason, and bring these kids up and say, you know what, we're giving these kids a shot because I know they want to play and perform. They have something to prove. You guys, they don't care, and it stems from the manager. He doesn't care. The ownership doesn't care. You see Hal, he's like, why is everyone mad? Why is everyone the guy is so out of touch with this team. It stems down from him all the way down to these players, and you see it. They have this lackadaisical, I'm getting paid, I don't care, we still have money, I got my chains, Donaldson's strutting around with his chain. He doesn't care about booing. He does not care. He's going home lathering up with his money. He could give a rat's ass about this team, and it's sad. It's sad.
When you compare the Yankees, right, to what's going on with the Yankees, and listen to what I'm about to say. You got the Tampa Bay Rays, who have the best record in all of Major League Baseball. First place in the American League East. The Tampa Bay Rays and their head coach, Kevin Cass, they sat down their all-star, Wander Franco, for 2 days. The guy that has the biggest contract when it comes to the Tampa Bay Rays in their franchise history. They sat him down for 2 days for not hustling and not paying attention while being out there. Why can't the New York Yankees do the same thing with any of these players? Whether it's Rizzo, whether it's Gleyber Torres, whether it's Josh Donaldson, whether it's DJ LeMahieu, do something to light a fire under your guys. And I'm going to say it again. The Tampa Bay Rays, they have the best record in all of Major League Baseball, but they had no issue sitting down their best player because of not hustling, because of not paying attention, because of blunders in the field. Why can't the New York Yankees do the same thing? Why is it that the New York Yankees, we can't hold our players accountable, but the Tampa Bay Rays, who we are chasing in our division, who at the same time is the team that our front office is trying to imitate, trying to mimic. If you want to imitate the Tampa Bay Rays, do what they did with Wander Franco. Hold someone accountable, let it be publicly known, and sit their ass down for a day or two. Enough is enough.
Yeah. No, you're spot on. I mean, Gleyber Torres with that the night before when he took off to second and never even tagged up, said he got lost in the lights or so. I mean, that's a week on the bench. That is, I mean, on top of all the other blunders he's done this year, enough's enough. He should have been benched a long time ago. And Donaldson with his play, I don't understand how they can keep running him out in the lineup. I mean, I know we don't have other guys really, but IKF's there. Cabrera just got called up. I mean, these guys, let them play.
Yeah.
I mean, it can't be any worse than what's going on right now. I don't get it. It's just the attitudes on these guys, and shame on Boone. Shame on Boone for not.
Jerry says
exactly.
it. Jerry says it the best. What a circus! It's a circus show right now.
Championship caliber circus.
BSN 41 accountability starts at the top. How to Boone, and I'm over it. Absolutely, that's where it starts. Listen,
start up there.
One thing I've learned, and I've had a bunch of jobs in my entire life. I've managed restaurants. I've worked in EMS. I've worked at animal hospitals, regular people hospitals. One thing that I have learned, right, from one of my mentors in my life is, if you are the general manager of a company or whatever, if you have people underneath you, and if you ask someone to get something done, TC, if you're the owner of the company that I work for, I'm your GM, and I have a bunch of workers underneath me. If you ask me to get something done, whether that is, Hector, make sure that sign right there is clean by the time I come back by Wednesday. If Wednesday comes around and that sign is still dirty, but I tell you, hey, I know it's dirty, but I asked these 3 workers to do it, you're going to tell me I asked you to get it done. And that's the issue with the Yankees. We don't have anyone going over the Boone. Listen, I know that we're slumping right now when it comes to the offense. Have these hitters getting the batting cage and work on their offense. I come to you 2 or 3 days later, well, the hitting coach, he's working on something. I didn't ask the damn hitting coach. I asked you, Aaron Boone. I understand that's the hitting coach's job, but you as the manager, you got to make sure that the players are meeting with the hitting coach so they can work on what they have to work on.
Yeah, no, exactly. Boone is the guy that needs to get the stuff done. But at the same time, with a team like the Yankees, yeah, they're underperforming, but they're still making money. So that is the problem. They don't care about the on-field performance. As long as they're making money, business as usual. Cashman's fine, Boone's fine, the hitting coach is fine. They don't care. In a regular business, if you're underperforming, you're going to lose money. But fortunately for them, in baseball, they don't lose money because people still go and they watch and they have TV deals and they have all kinds of stuff. Until they start losing money, there's no change happening. You can see it. Hal says nothing's wrong with. I don't understand why I'm confused. Why are they mad? We're still in the wild card. He doesn't watch the games, obviously, because if I was the owner of this team, part ownership, and I saw this play on I'd be in that dugout right away next game saying, "What the hell is going on with you guys?" Chewing them all out.
He doesn't watch the games. He doesn't listen to podcasts. He doesn't listen to the radio shows. What do you listen to, Hal Steinbrenner? How are you keeping your post to the fan base? How are you keeping your ears on the street if you aren't listening to podcasts, if you aren't listening to radios? Listen, like I said, Hal, I want to root for you. I want to root for my owner. I don't want to be here complaining every day about my ownership group or by my front office. I don't want to do that, Hal. But when no one is being held accountable, yes, we won a series against the Seattle Mariners. Whip-de-damn-do. Yes, when you look at our record, we are tied for the 4th best record in the American League. That's awesome. Yeah. But it shouldn't be enough. You shouldn't just be satisfied with the 4th best record in the American League. We're behind the Tampa Bay Rays by how many games? By 10 plus games?
Yeah.
How is that okay? How is that
not.
fine? How is that fine having guys? We're in the middle of June. We're about to be in July, and we have at least 6 people in our lineup that's hitting less than 230. How is that okay for a major league team that's trying to compete for a championship? That cannot be okay.
No, you would never see this in the 80s, 90s. The guys batting like 200, they would never sniff the field. But now it's acceptable. Oh, they hit the occasional home run. So, just wait, be patient. That goes for Donaldson. Like, he could hit 130. He's hit 130, right? 127. Pathetic. But tomorrow, if he gets a hit, or today he gets a hit, a couple, maybe a couple walks, he earns more time. Just it's unbelievable. Oh, look, he's turning it around. He needs more at bats. He's seen enough at bats. We've seen the results in the last 2 years. He's done. Move on.
Pete just said right here, it's June 23rd, and IKF has pitched in 3 games. Not only has he pitched in 3 games, he has pitched 3 scoreless innings. He has pitched more scoreless innings and more innings than Carlos Rodon has done with the New York Yankees. That right there, it's crazy. Pete, I appreciate. Thanks for bringing it up. Avicii in the chat. Shout out Avicii in the building. Can someone write the Yankees office a letter, and we'll get signatures online from Yankee fans? There has to be a way for us fans to collectively send the message to this organization. Enough already. Well, according to holding people accountable, Howard Steinbrenner said, us fans, we hold them accountable. So why aren't you listening to us? If you guys watched the games, you guys heard every at bat that Josh Donaldson was in. He was getting booed, and it keeps getting louder and louder and louder, to the point that every time he's coming up, Michael Kay is letting it be known. Here comes the new Yankee punching bag when it comes to the fans, letting them know how he feels. You're not listening to the fans. When they're booing Josh Donaldson, the fans don't want to see JD anymore. We're tired of it. Enough is enough. The man is batting, 127 after yesterday. 127 after yesterday.
Pitchers hit better than him.
Enough is enough. Yes. I'd rather have the Grom out there hitting than having Josh Donaldson out there hitting at this point. Enough is enough. I want to bring up one more before we put the link for the open panel in the chat so everybody can come up and let us know your frustrations. But we got to switch it up and talk about a little Giancarlo Stanton. My guy, Dylan Becker. Shout out to Dylan from Fireside Yankees, a good friend of the channel, good friend of the show. And this is both Donaldson and JD. I mean, JD and Stanton, right? But since June 2nd, Josh Donaldson and Giancarlo Stanton, they have a combined batting average of 115. They are 11 of 39, 11 for 95 with 31 strikeouts. These are supposed to be the potent middle of the order bats. This is really brutal to watch. I'm going to say that again. Since June 2nd, both Giancarlo Stanton and Josh Donaldson have combined for a 115 batting average, 11 for 95 with 31 strikeouts. How is this acceptable?
It's
for the New York Yankees.
It's not for us, but to the front office and to Boone, it's okay. Just keep running them out there. They're gonna get better. Be patient. You can see it. It's terrible. Stanton can't hit a beach ball right now. He is lost. They're both lost. Him and JD are. I don't know. They have to be sat down.
Max Goodman, shout out to Max Goodman on Twitter, always putting out real good Yankee content. After the double play last night, I think it was his last at bat, Giancarlo Stanton is hitting 073, 3 for 41 in his last 12 games. He's batting 190 on the season. Now we have Giancarlo Stanton batting below 200. I don't think Giancarlo Stanton, since he's been a Yankee, ever batted this low. I don't think his batting average ever been below 200 since becoming a Yankee.
No, we knew it was going to take a while after the injury to get going, but this, this is enough. Enough's enough. I mean, he's 41 at bats, 3 for 41. With Judge out, we need him. We need him to come through. And like I said earlier, it's been Bowers and McKinney. And you would never think that. You would think it's Stanton and Donaldson and Rizzo.
You got to tip your hat off to what they have provided us, because we weren't expecting this coming out of spring training. Going into the season, we were not expecting in the middle of June, on June 23rd, our best offense or our 2 top hitters right now would be McKinney and would be Bowers. We were not expecting that. We were expecting that out of Rizzo. We were expecting that out of Gleyber Torres, Giancarlo Stanton, DJ LeMahieu, Josh Donaldson. That is who we were expecting that from. Yeah. Not from Billy McKinney. Not from Bowers.
No. I mean, it's their time to shine. With Judge out, those 5 guys had to step up. At least 1 or 2 of them, and all 5 at the same time. Just it's. I've never seen it. I have never seen this bad of an offense.
It literally looks like that this past month has been the worst baseball that those 5 have played. Like when you really think about it, when it comes to offense and defense on both sides of the of the ball, this has been probably the worst stretch of those 5 collectively in their major league career for a whole month. When you look at how many errors Gleyber Torres done had over this past month, Anthony Rizzo, as much as a solid defender he has been, how many errors has he had over the past month? Josh Donaldson, we saw it last night, and we saw it a couple of games before also, how sloppy he has looked in the field. So, yeah, you can look at the back of their baseball card and see that in the past they have put up numbers, but all 5 of those guys right now for the past month has been the worst version of themselves.
Yeah. So if these guys are truly not, I mean, they're not healthy, or if they are healthy, then a lot of this blame has to go on the hitting coach, Lawson and Wilkerson. Why are we not making a change there? I mean, they have to be held accountable, and we need to get rid of them. I mean, they have to be the guys to, we got to change something around. Sorry, you guys got to go. But it's just business as usual. No accountability. It's okay. Like, I don't know what games they're watching. I don't understand. I mean, what do you make of it? I mean, Lawson, is he just going to be there for the rest of the season at this pace?
At this point, I'm waiting for Shelly Duncan to take his job.
Yep.
At this point, I'm just waiting for Shelly Duncan to take his job. I keep refreshing my Twitter feed. I don't want you guys to think that I'm ignoring you guys or TC, but I'm refreshing my Twitter feed just to see if they're going to postpone this game later on today.
Oh, the raining?
Because it's drizzling right now and it's raining in New York City. Nothing heavy, but it's supposed to rain today, tomorrow, and Sunday. I'm not sure if they're going to cancel all 3 games, but I know one of these games is going to be a washout, right? So it's going to be a doubleheader Sunday or Saturday. One of these is going to be a doubleheader. And if it's a doubleheader on Sunday, I have no faith in this team. If we lose today, game 1, and then we have to play a doubleheader, we're going to get swept.
Yeah. It's just going to be like Boston. Yeah.
All over again. It's going to be like Boston. Hold on. Let me pull up some of the chats real quick before I put the link in the chat. Also, we got 44 people in the building. If you guys can, please smack that like button for your boys. We're trying to get the likes up to 40 and 50 on the stream, and we appreciate all you guys showing up and joining the conversation. Let us know in the chat. What's your thoughts? How are you feeling about this team? Because we'll get to it right now. KC Funtime. It's funny because they keep trying to send down Cabrera to get right in AAA, but the team can't get rid of him because they keep getting more injuries. Yes. How can he work on his mechanics if he's getting shuttled back and forth between Scranton and the major leagues?
But we got Estevan Florial. He just hit another home run yesterday. 19. What is going on?
How many?
19.
Oh, 19.
That's
Okay.
it. That's it.
Do you know who is the lead? What's the leader on the Yankees for home runs and how many home runs it is?
It should be Judge. Yeah, I think he has
Judge
19.
with 18 home runs.
18,
With
yeah,
18 home
okay.
runs. Okay, so Esteban Florio, he has more home runs in AAA than anyone else has at the big league level. Okay, I just wanted to make sure we're talking about the same person, and I wasn't looking into things. Copy.
I had to open my eyes and make sure that was correct, and I mean, I'm watching the baseball. I'm watching the games. I don't know what they're watching. I don't know.
I have no idea. Yankees farm, my guy Los. Then again, Lawson thinks Volpe hitting 200 is professional.
Yeah.
So maybe he doesn't see anything wrong with that. You're right, Los. Maybe he doesn't see anything wrong with that. My guy D-Rod is in the building. D-Rod says slumping is also contagious. Yes, like a nasty cold. D-Rod. Avicii said, I'd rather watch Chris Carter and Neil Walker than Glaber and DJ. Jesus Christ. He's just a blast from a pass from the both of them. But with the way that DJ and Glaber has been performing, I don't blame him. Rather seeing them two than seeing these two. Come on. Are you kidding me? Unpop. Without Judge, this team is on pace for a 69 and 93 record. He ain't wrong with that one. He definitely is not wrong with that one. I'm going to put the link in the chat for the open panel. You guys are more than welcome to come up, but you guys got to always remember when it comes to the open panel, you guys got to remember we have to follow the terms and services when it comes to YouTube. Please be respectful to one another. If somebody is in the middle of finishing a statement or giving their take, let them finish. That way you will have the same time allowed to you. But Jigga, I know you're backstage. If you can hit that with video, we will be right back and we will get ready for the open panel. You guys get ready. We'll be right back.
As the competition, but if you go against me, you the opposition. But if you want to look like you could close the distance, I'ma give it A forever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back. Let's get back to winning. As a matter of fact, I'm not that forgiving, cause you didn't see yourself, that's a bad decision.
And it gets me hyped so much.
Yes, indeed. Make sure you guys get your tickets September 23rd. It's going to be a movie. But before we continue, we got some people backstage. I see Damian Serrano is backstage. Damian, if that's you, let me get a thumbs up in the screen before I bring you up. I'm not sure if your thing is frozen or not, but I got my guy, Unpopular Opinion, that I'm going to bring through. Unpop, how you doing? How you feeling?
What up, fellas? What up?
Chilling, baby. How you feeling, bro?
I'm all right. You know, living. Be here.
You living. I know the Yankees, we've been going through it. We won a series, but then we showed up yesterday and we got mollywopped by the Seattle Mariners. How are you feeling when it comes to Herman? And when you look at this offense, who do you want to smack first, bro?
I just want to smack everyone and a mama. We 2-5, bro. 2-5 in our last 7. And teams that are under 500, we could have honestly flipped that record around and been, 5-2, easy. And, on pace to really try to put a move on Tampa or at least Baltimore for that top spot on the wild card. It's looking really, really bleak because now we're about to approach that deeper part of the June schedule that, we can really dig ourselves in a hole, and it's gonna be dicey, man. Herman is not doing well. My man has given up 21 earned runs in 24 innings. It's bad, bro.
Ain't gonna do it.
That's no bueno, bro. That's
AAA status.
No
that's demotion.
Yes,
that is no brainer. And the thing about Herman, and we've had the conversation, Pop, that when it comes to Domingo Herman, outside of Garrett Cole, for a nice stretch, he was our most consistent pitcher in our rotation besides Garrett Cole. And then when you look at his last 3 starts, you brought the numbers up. It's been horrible, bro. Like, what do you think it is? Do you think him not having the sticky stuff? What do you think it is with Domingo Germán?
Well, he had like 3 starts after the sticky stuff that were good. So
Right.
it might just be Germán. Like he goes through a month where he's mediocre, a month when he's great, a month where he's bad, and then a month when he's mediocre, and then a month when he's great. That's just who he is. He's a number 4, number 5 starter. He will never be a number 1, number 2. He doesn't have that consistency to be that top of the end rotation piece. So that's just who he is. I honestly just think that his curveball is great, but every once in a while he'll go through a 2-3 week stretch where it's non-existent, and then you can just sit on the fastball all day. And that's what happened yesterday. They sat fastball and they put it in the porch.
No control of the fastball, no control of the breaking pitch. That curveball didn't have no bite, like you said.
Nothing.
But hold the rest of your thoughts. I want to bring someone up to the panel who it's their first time joining the open panel. I see them backstage. Damian, I see you backstage. Just let me get a thumbs up just to make sure that's you. All right, copy. Because, you know, them trolls, they be vicious nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But Damian Serrano, my guy, welcome to the open panel.
What's going on, fellas?
Foremost,
No, we
appreciate
don't see you.
always being supportive and always being in the chat, my guy. First time on the panel. How are you feeling, Damian?
My pleasure. I appreciate it, fellas. Sick to my stomach. Man, this team is giving me bubble guts. Yeah, it's tough to watch. Last night, Boone just packed in the bags after the 4 runs after the first inning. He said, "That's it, we're done."
Yeah.
Instead of getting somebody up in the pen and hopefully going 2, 3, 4 innings, he said, "We're done." And I felt like I was watching ESPN Friday bloopers. You know, all I was waiting for was the It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Sad to see the state of the team. How if you were confused before, you can't be confused after last night. That's all I can say. I don't know what else. I don't know what else they have to show or do to show that this team is in disarray.
Facts. And you heard the fans booing Boone last night. You heard the fans booing Josh Donaldson last night. When is reality going to set in for Hal Steinbrenner? Like you said, Damian, because he said he's confused on why the fans are upset in the middle of June. When you look at the product that we have on the field, that's why we are upset. Yes, absolutely. I know we have the 4th best record in the American League. We're in the wild card hunt. I got you. But there should be no reason why in the middle of June you should be happy with having 6 of your hitters hitting below 230. That's not a Yankees offense. I don't remember at any time rooting for this team that we had that many people in a lineup whose batting average was that low. I never remember that. Or I don't remember ever watching this team, Pop, Dame, and TC, that we've ever had a team that's been the bottom 3rd when it comes to on-base percentage, bottom 5 when it comes to batting average, and bottom 5 when it comes to runs scored. I've never remember a Yankees offense that's been this bad.
No, never. I mean, you know, George had his problems, had his issues. George got suspended, came back, learned his lesson, built the team, let people do what they needed to do. And, you know, Hal just doesn't want to, refuses to do it. Cashman's his little blanket. He cuddles him, and unfortunately, it's never going to change unless Cashman is gone. It's never going to change. And as much as it pains me to sit there and say, I don't want us to make the playoffs, but if not making the playoffs is the only way change is going to happen, then so be it. We've taken the L this many years. So what's one extra year to take an L in order to make change? And if that's what it takes, then so be it. But I can't stomach it anymore. And it's not going to change unless it happens. Anytime IKO, Isaiah Kinda Otani, pitches 3 times before the All-Star break, then we got a problem.
Yeah.
We got a problem.
You know you definitely do. If IKF is pitching 3 scoreless innings before the All-Star break, you know your team is in serious trouble, right? Yeah, but you bring up the boss, and I know I got other people backstage. I'm gonna bring you guys in momentarily. But even when it comes to the boss, George Steinbrenner, when he got suspended, he was held accountable. Even the boss was held accountable by Major League Baseball. He didn't cry. He didn't complain. He didn't try to blame anyone else. He said, you know what? I was caught. I need to take accountability. And he went away and he came back a better version of himself.
Absolutely.
Al Steinbrenner, Brian Cashman, no one is holding them accountable. So they're never going to come back a better version of themselves. I'm fully convinced when it comes to that, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. 1,000%.
All right, Damon, just hold on real quick. I want you to rock out with us. I want to bring up someone else for the open panel. We got to bring up big time Jerry. Then I'm gonna bring up Jonathan. Then I got Li Yankee King, and then I got Sunil. I'm just bringing you guys up as you guys appeared in the queue. So I'm bringing up Jerry, Mr. Big Time Jerry Cadill. Jerry, how you doing?
I'm sick. It's a good thing I have the man cave because my wife would hear me screaming. And she said, "What's going on?"
Hey, don't upset
there?
Mom. Come on,
She
leave
said,
Mom alone.
Calm down. I said, "You got to
No
see
high
this
blood pressure.
atrocious team."
Mm-hmm.
Bottom and Bailey doesn't have anything over on the Yankees. I'll tell you, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Damien, quick question: are you wearing recaps? That's NYY recaps hat. That's Derek's hat?
It's a Yankee hat.
Oh, okay, I just saw the logo from recap.
It's Derek's party hat. But yeah.
It's his party. It's his party hat. Not as fire hat though, bro. But Jerry, gonna ask you, bro. After yesterday's game, I know we won the series. It's the first time we won a series over the past 4 or 5 series. I understand that, but do you have confidence in this lineup and in this team going into the series against Texas? Because Texas, they have the best offense in baseball. What's your expectation for this series that's about to come up, Jerry?
I'll be even sicker after this series. Texas is going to blow them away. They got an outstanding team, and they got Evalde. The Red Sox was stupid to get rid of him. I bet you they're cursing now that they let him go.
Both the Red Sox and the Yankees, because Evalde used to be with us. You know, he was with us before he was with the Red Sox, before he got Tommy John. We were never able to tap into him. And there's been how many different players that, whether they're pitchers or offensive players, that we had them at one point. We couldn't get the best out of them. They go to another organization and they become the better version of themselves. It's like for some reason, it seems like that the Yankees developmental or the Yankees coaching just is not doing it. There should be no now, if you have one player leaving your organization and going to another one and performing, copy, that's an anomaly. But when you have multiple, when you have Sonny Gray, when you got Evalde, when you got Gary Sanchez, when you got Aaron Hicks, when you have multiple players going to other organizations and they start performing, then you got to look yourself in the mirror and ask, what am I doing wrong?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
What am I doing wrong? Pop, I want to get your take on that before I bring up the next person for the open panel.
Yeah, there's a laundry list of guys that just do better out of New York, and I honestly I think it has to do with the philosophy. They are too home run or nothing. And then if you bring up a whole bunch of young guys, imagine messing with an 18, 19, 21, 22-year-old and teaching them that the only thing that matters is for them to hit a home run. You see, Ichiro said it. He can hit more home runs, but he decided to hit for average. So when you go to hit home runs, you end up striking out more, and you don't make contact. And this is our entire farm system. And when they leave, they go to another organization that values batting average, that values on base percentage, that values moving runners over and playing small ball because that's their game, and they exceed in those circumstances, and not here.
Yep.
Look at the prospect that we sent to Texas for Joey Gallo, Ezekiel Duran. He is killing it right now. He is literally killing
complete package too.
Complete package when it comes to being a solid defender, when it comes to being a guy that he's not a strikeout or bust type of player. He puts the ball in play. His strikeout numbers are down. That's a good player that we got rid of. And it's weird because it's actually like we need an outfielder, right? We need someone to play left field. God forbid that we had him on our team. But before we continue,
positions.
Yeah, and that's
he
the
plays
thing.
Multiple positions too.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, you know what, Jerry? Get my Metamucil ready because I'm gonna be sick with you after this weekend. All right, Jerry, get me some Metamucil.
You don't remember, Hector, in the 60s when they had Charlie Smith at third, Ruben Amaro at short, Horace Clark at second, and broken down Mickey Mantle.
Oh, I don't.
The
The 60s. That's before. I don't think my father even went through puberty in the 60s. Jerry, what are you talking?
The kids don't remember; they weren't born then. But
I will bring up Jonathan right now to join us in the conversation. My guy, Jonathan, how are you doing, my guy? Salute, brother.
Overall, I'm good, with the exception of the Yankees, of course.
Yeah. But we gotta talk about it.
Don't let that get you down.
I'm not down. I mean, honestly, the only good thing about this is if the Yankees miss the playoffs, they will have to be forced to make significant changes. And that's the only thing I can say that's good about this season. And if they don't make significant changes, I don't think the ownership really cares. The ownership is too complicit with the numbers and with the just getting into the playoff is enough. Forget about winning. Just getting into the playoffs and make some money. Once the Yankees stop making the playoffs, they will lose the playoff money, and that's when there will be significant changes.
You're right.
You're right when you said that, Jonathan. And I said it yesterday on the show, guys, and I don't want to throw it around to get everybody's input on it, but I've said it. In order for changes to come, in order for this team to make some changes, the Yankees as a team, us Yankee fans, we're going to have to go through some dark times before any changes are done, right? If you expect or if you want Hal Steinbrenner to make some changes, that's only going to happen if this team finishes below 500. If this team is embarrassed in September and October when it comes to what our record is trying to get into the postseason.
I think I would compare this current team to the 93 team.
That was a little bit before my time, but 93 was around the time that we just got Paul O'Neill. Bernie Williams was just coming up as a young kid. Don Mattingly was getting towards the end of his career because of his back injuries.
In the minor leagues. Why can't we use them? Why can't we use Florio? Why can't we use Peraza? Why don't we bring the young energy that this team needs? Because right now they have no excitement to excite fans. If you got tickets to a game tomorrow, would you be calling your friends to say, hey, I got tickets, you got to come to Yankee Stadium tomorrow? Or would they say, I might as well just watch it on TV, and if the second inning they might be blown out, I can just change the channel.
Somebody literally messaged me yesterday, Jonathan, and offered me 2 tickets in the 300 section last night's game against the Mariners. I'm glad I didn't go because if I would have went, I probably would have had a hungover and would probably not have done the show because I would have been too drunk trying to recover from last night.
Exactly. Well, that is my point. No one is ecstatic to go to a game anymore.
No,
especially with Judge out.
Better off at a funeral home.
Yeah,
I mean, let's face it. Let's face it. If the Yankees make the playoffs, is anybody here believing that they're going to do anything?
No.
So at this point, we might as well not make it and get the change we need.
That's what I think. I would like them to have a fire sale if they could.
The only faith
down.
that I have when it comes to the postseason is that hopefully we don't get swept. That's the only faith that I have. That is the only faith that I had. And with the new wild card setup, how they have the new wild card games. If this was back in the days, I'll be happy just with that 1-game elimination because that means we weren't swept out of the postseason. Yes. We just lost one game. Now we got to win best out of 3 and we could get swept. Right?
Absolutely.
But before we continue, I got someone in the chat that they just popped up backstage and I want to bring them up. It's, we love all Yankee content creators and we're supportive and friends with every other big Yankee content creator that's out there. But I got to bring up my guy, Jason from 161 River Ave.
There
Jason,
he is.
How are you doing, Mr. Big Time?
All good. I had to have a piece of news for you guys. If you haven't heard, Andy Martino just reported that the Mets are willing to take on a bad contract for bullpen help.
So they take on Josh Donaldson.
Bullseye for the Yankees. One of the best bullpens, and you can get rid of a shitty contract at the same time.
What trade prediction do you have for that one?
Me? Trade? Yeah. I would give Donaldson, and I would give him Ron Marinaccio or somebody like that. or Wandy, or something like
Do you think they'll take Stanton?
No.
Go back to the Marlins.
I don't think Stanton will waive his no trade.
Yeah.
But
This
that's right.
makes it a little bit easier, and there's only a few teams in baseball that have a really good bullpen and bad contracts, and the Yankees are number one at top of the list.
Yeah, now, and that's interesting you bring it up, and I want to get everybody's take, so I'll throw it over to Pop and then Damien right after what I'm about to ask. But what's weird to me is that, yes, it's the Yankees and the Mets, but the relationship that Steve Cohen and Hal Steinbrenner, they have with each other. Hal was the only one of the owners that actually went out there and advocated for Steve Cohen when he was trying to buy the New York Mets. So normally in the past, the Yankees and the Mets normally wouldn't be making deals to help each other out. But with the relationship between Hal and Steve Cohen, do you guys see something happening when it comes to the Yankees moving off of one of their bullpen arms to get rid of a bad contract? I'll start it over with you, Jason, and then throw it over to Pop and Damien.
Yeah, I think it can happen because, and in pivoting to the other trade, like I would move Torres for a starter and a reliever. You can replace whatever reliever you trade away with another one with the Torres trade. And then you have the in-house replacement, Oswald Peraza, to replace Torres. So to me, it makes sense. But again, if there's any way you can get rid of Donaldson's contract, the Mets will probably DFA him immediately. But they've also said they're willing to eat a bad contract so another team can free up money to make moves as long as they get bullpen help in return. If I'm the Yankees, I would offer him a decent reliever. Like Marinaccio is not a free agent until 2027.
Exactly.
So it'd be controllable years to go with that. And they might want somebody different, but at the very least, I would call Cohen right now. I want to see what can we work on here.
Worst that can happen is IKF definitely can help him out. Worst that can happen, Jason, is he says no and he hangs up the phone. That's the worst that can happen when it comes to that.
But imagine how many Yankee fans would be happy if they pawned off Donaldson on the Mets.
Oh God, especially to the Mets. If we can send you out garbage, we'll send you out garbage. Pop, I want to get your take on that and then throw it over to Damien, Jerry, and then Jonathan. When it comes to that type of scenario, would you include Josh Donaldson or someone else? What are you thinking, Pop?
I mean, the first person I'm throwing out there is JD. Like that's, number one. JD is the frontliner. Then you tell me who you want in the pen. But the way I think of it, I don't think they will want JD. I would honestly, if they don't want JD, I would start jumping to DJ. Hey, he's getting older. That foot is not. It looks like it's not working. We can move away from that money, and then there goes the opportunity for Peraza to now be the platoon guy in that infield if you need to. So that will be my play. If they don't want JD, no, DJ is next.
DJ's more reliable. That's a good point.
It'll be our luck. DJ LeMahieu going to the Mets and he turns into shoeless Joe Jackson hitting 380 for the rest of the season. It's our luck that can happen.
Oh, yeah. I'll take you to bring up Peraza, man.
Damien, I want to get your takes on that when it comes to that. Is there someone beside Josh Donaldson, or is that the contract you're trying to get rid of? I know you brought up Stanton, but his no trade clause kind of make it hard. What's your take on it, Damien?
The only way, obviously, Stanton, if he would actually waive it, and hopefully he would be somebody to say, you know what, I've caused this organization enough grief. Let me give back by waiving that. But I highly doubt it. But it would have to be Josh Donaldson. I mean, obviously we could have used that $50 million. We'd have a left fielder. We'd have money to play with, et cetera, and ship off Marinaccio because he obviously has years, or even somebody like Loaisiga who's always injured. And, he's always injured. And, he's a great pitcher, great back of the end. But if we can't count on him, which he's proven we can't, then what's the point? I would definitely try to make some moves in that nature, and obviously free up some money, somehow get a left fielder, and maybe some bullpen help by trading Glaber, and maybe something else. Obviously, Peraza needs to come up for sure. There's a lot of youngsters out there in the AAA system that need their chance. Florial sitting there having the best season in his career. Like you said earlier, Hector has 18 home runs.
19.
Who leads the whole organization and deserves a chance. Everybody, craps on him, but the guys have 54 at bats in a matter of 3 years. So any extended time at the plate, to see this kid actually work would be great. And if he proves to be what he's showing us in those 54 bats, then we release him, no sweat. But at that point, we got to know what we have. And if we don't, then what's the point?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Damian Serrano. You don't want to let Esteban Florial turn into the next Juan Rivera, because Juan Rivera came up through our system. The Yankees never really gave him an opportunity. We traded him off to Montreal. Montreal traded him off to the Angels, and then Juan Rivera became the backup to Vladimir Guerrero. That was Vladimir Guerrero's protection in that lineup. Juan Rivera for years, who came up through our organization. And like I said, you don't want Esteban Florial to turn into Juan Rivera 2.0. I know a lot of people are down when it comes to Esteban Florial, but just see what you have in the kid. If you're going to allow Franchi Cordero to have at-bats for like more than 2 weeks, why can't you give Esteban Florial, who is a better defender, who could play all three outfield positions, who has speed and who has some pop to his bat? Jerry, I want to get your thoughts on the whole Josh Donaldson to the Mets with a reliever. Is that a move that you would make? What are you thinking about, Jerry?
Absolutely. Get rid of him now. And I'd take McNeil. McNeil's a contact hitter.
Oh, they'll never give us.
That's the guy I would go after. I'd get rid of Loizaga, like was it
He's
Damian
hurt.
said?
They're not going to take him.
Yeah,
I would give up Loizaga because
no, but
it
wouldn't just be Loizaga. If they're willing to take on 25 or whatever is left for Josh Donaldson's contract, you could offer up a Ron Marinaccio with a Lasagna. Even though Johnny Lasagna is injured, you could give them two relievers, one of them who's available now and another one who's working to come back. And I think the Mets would be interested in Jonathan Loizaga. My thing is, that may be too much to give up in order to get rid of Josh Donaldson. You could just eat that contract and still have those two relievers on your team. I just feel it's just too much to give up. Jonathan, what's your thoughts? And
what about
bring it back around to Jason
Ramirez?
I might give up Donaldson and Albert Abreu.
They're not going to want that.
They're not going to want Albert Abreu. You got to look at it like this. If you're a team, Jonathan, that you're already over the luxury tax at like the most you can be over it, if you're going to add on a guy like Josh Donaldson for the rest of the season and eat his money, you're going to want some value to come back. Us fans, we see it as, oh, it's just 10, 15, 20, whatever it is. But when you look at the luxury tax implications of it, that $10 million could turn into $35 million like that because of the luxury tax penalties.
So what about I don't know who the Mets have as a potential left field option for the Yankees, but if you have Donaldson, Abreu, and you eat part of Donaldson's contract,
unless you want to take back one of their bad bats, because Mark Canha has been struggling. Starlin Marte has been struggling. Starlin Marte, I think he has another year, if not 2 years left on his contract. I don't think the Yankees are going to want – they're trying to get off of money. They're not going to want to add on money and years from a player. So I don't see – it's a good conversation to have. I just don't see the perfect scenario.
without having a contract come back to you.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jason.
The Mets said that they're willing to take, and I'll actually read it to you. Let me read you Andy Martino's tweet so you can see it. Let me pull up there you go. The Mets are willing to take on another team's burdensome contract, thereby freeing up that club to spend money elsewhere. So that doesn't mean sending a contract back. So, so that's the key line in the tweet here, and how the likes of Josh Donaldson. The first person mentioned is Josh Donaldson in this tweet. Or Patrick Corbin from the Diamondbacks, who would be the two most helpful candidates here. But you'd be taking on years of Corbin's contract. You'd be taking on. Keep in mind, when he takes Donaldson's salary this year, takes his buyout next year too. So that's another $6 million off the books for the Yankees as well, or 16 for the option, which I don't think they'll take. So this is, if you're going to give up one bad contract, I'll give up another reliever. You want to take a second bad contract? I'm giving you another reliever. Like, it's got to be fair.
Yeah. It has to be like an even swap that it makes sense for both parties, not just benefiting one party over the other.
I don't think anyone would take Corbin. No one is trading for Corbin.
It's too long. It's too much of a contract.
Unless you're LI.
Right?
Yeah, unless you're LI. Unless you're LI, yeah. But I know I still got LI and Sunil backstage. I'm gonna bring you guys up, but I want to bring up Ruben right now, because I know Ruben, he only has like a limited time to join us. My guy Ruben, what it do, Papi Chulo?
What's up, bro?
Chilling, baby, chilling. Ruben, you heard what Jason just brought up when it comes to Andy Martino. Hold on, where did he go? There he is. When it comes to Andy Martino, what's your thoughts on that, Ruben, and what's your takes when it comes to it?
I gotta dip out, Hector. I gotta get some. So I'll talk
no
to you guys.
problem. Yo,
Good work,
Jace,
guys.
later, my guy.
Good work.
Peace, baby.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, shoot, let's ship them off. Like, why are we calling now? Who do they want? You know what I mean? As long as like it's within reason. Obviously, like we don't want to like give up like our key exact like best bullpen arms. But I mean, shoot, if they want to, take a few relievers off our hands, or get some extra arms that they're looking for, well, why not at this point? I mean, pitching is our strength right now, and we need to open up roster spots so we can get these young guys up, and that way we can stop using the excuse of like, oh, Florial can't play because he's not on the 40 man,
Exactly.
which is like the dumbest thing that I've ever heard at this point. But yeah, like give them Donaldson. I mean, if they want LeMahieu, I'll take the risk of LeMahieu becoming, LeMahieu again over there. But at this point, if they want to build, then fine, go cheap then. Go cheap. Go bring up all the rookies, bro. Like
Would you be
At this
opening
point.
and trading? Would you be
Yeah.
open to
Yeah, it opens up Peraza. I mean, we could even put freaking Florial. Like, I mean, at this point, Judge is injured, right? So we could have a full left-handed outfield in Florial, McKinney, and Bowers, and just pay them cheap contracts overall. And same thing with Peraza at third base. You got Volpe at short. I mean, that's a cheap roster right there.
More athletic speed.
They probably played better too.
Oh
Yeah, they're much more effort for sure. Now, the one thing I did read on that article briefly a little bit earlier was that Stanton is also one that he would potentially be willing to take.
Stanton, really? Because I know Damian brought him up, but
no trade clause.
But hey, if he says yes to it,
I mean, do you think? I mean, Stan obviously likes playing in New York, so just go play in Queens.
Yeah. At this point, I think playing Queens.
And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. G's my guy. I love G, and I will forever be grateful for G because what that guy's done for us in the playoffs is nothing short of amazing. Because he's had a better playoffs than Judge. I mean, let's just call a spade a spade. But at this point, my man is breaking down. He's completely breaking down, and you can see it. Even when he was in right field yesterday, it was tough watching him go after the ball.
And I blame the Yankees for his breaking down the way it's happened because I feel they babied him way too much in these players, and I think they caused the injuries for these players because you're constantly resting players, and when you rest them so often, they get stiff. And this is a game of reps. Like you gotta have constantly like getting reps. Will they play through knick-knack injuries? Yeah. I mean, as long as they're literally not like on a wheelchair. I mean, usually they would play through it. They'll play through a little bit of a hammy, not so much, like just like the really minor ones. And at the end of the day, like they were able to stay within routine. But they haven't allowed Stanton to do that. Now it's like, oh no, you gotta be 100% when you come back. Well, guess what? A lot of these guys will never be 100% with some of these injuries. So at this point,
I want to bring up my guy Don Sicario. Also, I know we got people that are trying to join the panel. It's letting me know we're only able to have 10 people at a time when it comes to backstage and on the panel. So I'm bringing up my guy Don Sicario. We're gonna circle some guys around. And when you brought up Giancarlo Stanton playing in right field, I just wanted to throw it out there. I'm not sure if you guys noticed it, but watching him last night in the outfield, it was literally like watching the main character from Grand Theft Auto 3 run around. It just looked weird seeing Giancarlo Stanton run out there. He was literally running like the guy from Grand Theft Auto 3 for the PS2.
He's going to get injured. He's going to get injured.
My guy Don Sicario, what it do, familia?
What's up? What up? Thank you for having me on. Much love.
Chilling, baby. I want to get your takes on it. What's your thoughts when it comes to the conversation we are having? When it comes to the possible trade scenarios that we were talking about, what's your takes, Don? How are you feeling about this team going into the series against Texas? And overall, what's your thoughts about it, baby? And I know I got Sunil and Eli. I'm gonna bring you guys up. I see you guys backstage. Just hold on momentarily, and I'm gonna bring you guys up. But go ahead, Don.
The situation with the Mets, I think that's amazing. I think, and like how you brought up earlier, how Steinbrenner was one of the few that kind of vouched for Steve Cohen. So I truly believe if they're putting that out there, I think it's possible for the first time in a few years we could actually have a positive note on that. The Mets and the Yankees can actually pull off some trades now. You know what I'm saying? Because before, we couldn't do that with the Wilpons and the other goofballs.
Yeah, you remember when they fucked us over on Jay Bruce? You remember that?
Yeah.
When they want to trade us Jay Bruce?
Yeah. So I mean, if we can get rid of Donaldson, cool. I don't know if they'd want him, and I know Stanton has the waive, the no trade clause, but Stanton looks like he seems like a player that the Mets, Steve Cohen would like, because he's an exciting guy. When he's on, he's on. And I think Stanton, I think out of some of the teams, this might be a team that he would actually waive, because he's still in New York. He knows the potential of that organization, what they can do. Right now, they look ugly because Steve Cohen he's new to this. So he's pushing for certain things. He's learning as he goes. You know what I'm saying? So maybe he feels like this team might actually have some potential. They'll spend, the owner will actually do what he needs to do. So that's cool.
But he leads the league in home runs at Citi Field.
Yeah, that's the best place for him to hit.
And Damien, your what you were talking about earlier, man, I agree 100%. Like, I love Stanton, but if we can move somebody like him, the DH spot's gonna open up so many different opportunities for that team once he saves us in the postseason. Like, I love Big G. Don't get it twisted. I love Big G, but we can do without him because we've done it. How many months, how many games we be having every season without Stanton?
Right.
And how said if he's on the team and he's on, he could carry a team. Yeah, no doubt. But right now he's not doing it for us. So I mean, I would.
Roberto, real quick, do you remember? You remember the Subway series?
Yeah. Well, which one though? The last one?
No, from a couple of years back. Can you imagine him and Lindor in the same team?
Lindor, yeah.
Oh God, yeah, having him and Lindor on the same team. We told you to shut your mouth.
Yo, that would be hilarious. They're now on the same squad. So I just want to throw that out there
didn't
before.
want any of that smoke. He wanted none of that smoke.
He didn't want none of that.
If we could have Donaldson and Cole on the same team, I don't see why they. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It'll work out. I was just thinking like that shit would be funny to see.
Yeah.
But anyways,
that was a lot. Go ahead, Ruben.
I'm gonna get going, guys. So, but I did like that idea, but also I would prioritize giving them LeMahieu and Stanton, and we just keep Donaldson if that's the case.
Yeah.
Get rid of the two long-term contracts, and then we can go ahead and DFA Donaldson. He's not here next year. But anyways,
listen, Ruben, I always love your insight, Ruben. Always open door whenever you want to come up here, baby.
Hector, TC, everybody on the channel. I gotta go I gotta get back to work. I appreciate everything, guys. Have a good
Damien,
one.
my guy.
Talk to you guys later.
Anytime you want to join, Damien, you're more than welcome to join, my guy. Just shoot me a message and I'll send the link, Papa. All right?
Sounds good. I appreciate it, fellas. Have a good one, guys.
Later, bro. Later. Also, you guys, I just want to add into the conversation because I'm about to bring up Eli and Sunil. When talking about Giancarlo Stanton, I would love to move off of him and his contract and send them over to Queens, but you got to think of the long term. The Mets, they're trying to get Shohei Ohtani, right? So it doesn't make much sense for the Mets to trade for Giancarlo Stanton, who's going to clog the DH spot. They're going to want Shohei to be the DH, so it kind of doesn't make sense. It's a great conversation to have because I do want to move off of that contract, but it kind of hamstrings the Mets. Go ahead, Jonathan, before I bring up the next guest.
The question is, if we traded Stanton to the Mets, what would a trade look like?
And that's the other thing. What would it look like? Is it just us trying to dump and just get rid of his contract? Because you got to remember the last 3 seasons of that deal, the Marlins are paying a big part of it. So it's not going to be $35 million. They're paying $10 million, so it's going to be $25 million.
Is it Stanton and $5 million a year just to get rid of him?
Well, if the Yankees can agree to pay $5 to $10 million a season just to get off of that contract, you're not trading for Giancarlo Stanton and $35 million. You're trading for Giancarlo Stanton and $15 million for the next 3 seasons. So $35 million for Giancarlo Stanton a season is not appealing. But $15 million, but $15 million for Giancarlo Stanton, I'll pay for that rather than paying $35 million.
The question is, what do the Yankees get back?
It's all going to come down to where Shohei Ohtani goes, right? Because 2 teams that you brought up, the Mets, they're favorites for Shohei Ohtani, and the Dodgers, they're favorites for Shohei Ohtani. So if Shohei goes to the Mets, which I think we should root for, then the Dodgers would try to trade for Giancarlo. He's a hometown boy. He'll get rid of that no trade clause to go to LA, to go to the Dodgers.
Yeah,
so
damn,
us
you're
Yankee
right.
fans, if we want to get rid of Giancarlo Stanton, we got to pray that the Mets get him. That way the Dodgers can free up that DH so they can try to trade for him. But I'm going to bring up L.I. Yankee King and Sunil both at the same time.
Hey,
L.I., what it do,
Sunil.
my guy? Sunil, Isaiah
Sunil, what up?
Ohtani.
Yeah, that's
See,
who he is.
if you started me yesterday, your ERA would be this, but you started PB and J, so it's this.
Listen, the way that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, he's been pitching, move over Shohei Ohtani. There is a new two-way player in Major League Baseball.
Exactly.
But L.I., I know you've been listening to the conversation. I know I was looking at you backstage while we was having the conversation. You kept making faces. What's your take when it comes to these trade scenarios? And what do you think? Because you know the trade scenarios. That's my guy L.I.'s favorite. What's your thoughts, L.I.? Go ahead, baby.
Now, I know we got Josh Donaldson who can't hit a beach ball if he got 100 tries. But would you sacrifice Tommy Kahnle in that deal? Tommy Kahnle, Greg Weishart in that deal to get
absolutely not.
No.
Nah, I'd rather eat even Ron Marinaccio. I'd rather keep Ron Marinaccio and just eat his money. I'd rather just pay that money and get rid of him instead of giving up on a kid that you can have till 2026.
Right. Here for this
L.I.
year, next year. That's it.
L.I. Don Sicario is ready to throw in a damn, son.
Damn, son.
Damn, son.
That's like the old school mixtape drops, Don. The damn, son. What have you?
Don the Marco.
Yeah.
It's got a cowboy drawl to it, though.
Sunil, you was listening to the convo. What's your takes on it? And while you're giving your take, I'm gonna bring up our guy Dane. So go ahead, give us your take when it comes to these trade scenarios. What's your thoughts on it?
Dane.
In the background, I would be afraid of trading with the Mets for one reason alone. They might be secretly trying to get rid of $12 million of Bobby Bonilla until 2035 in there somewhere.
What happened, L.I.?
It's like you take Josh Donaldson, we'll take Bobby Bonilla's contract.
There you go. That's an even swap. Swap. My guy Dane, salute.
What's going on, guys?
Also, gotta give you and Carlos your kudos. You guys are killing it with the Farm Report over on NYY News TV.
Word.
If you guys
salute.
haven't been watching, make sure you tune into our guys Dane and Carlos with the Farm Report over on NYY News TV. But Dane, you've been listening to the conversation. What do you take? What about us lunatics talking about trading with the Mets? What's your thoughts, Dane?
You can't get rid of Stanton. He is absolutely untradeable because he came to the Yankees because of Jose Fernandez, his best friend who died. That was his dream to play as a Yankee. Fernandez, that's the only team he wanted to play for.
Huh?
Yeah, no kidding. But he won't waive that no trade clause to go anywhere. Second, the Marlins are picking up $7 million of the salary from here on out. If he's traded, that money
this year is $7 million. Next year is going to be $10 million that they're paying on his contract. Yeah,
all the money the Marlins are on the books for is not tradable to another team. So G goes from costing us $22 million to $29 million AAV for whoever picks him up. If you're going to get rid of somebody, it's got to be Josh Donaldson because it's the shortest term deal. And if the Mets will take that, you give Marciano, you give Ian Hamilton. I don't know if they give Clay Holmes.
I don't know.
But
no.
Not doing that.
Too much.
Not Hamilton.
Giveaway.
Yeah.
Too much.
No, but from Dane's point, right? If you're a team that's going to eat your bad contract, $12.5 million, and we're taking off your headache to our team, if we're taking him off of your hands, I'm not gonna want some single A prospect that may not even make it to the majors. I want someone who's going to be impactful to that bullpen. So what Dane is saying, adding on maybe a Clay Holmes or Tommy Kahnle, it's going to be a high end reliever. If not, we're stuck with Josh Donaldson.
Right. Just one thing, guys. As far as why you moved Donaldson, it's to get under that luxury tax so you can go upgrade at the deadline. As of right now, we're dead in the water with where we're at. So if you can get rid of Donaldson and you move a Marinaccio or a Hamilton, we have some really, really impressive arms coming that can fill those bullpen spots. You have Luis Gil, who'll be back, that could take a number of roles. You have Edgar Barclay, who's a left-handed reliever in Double-A that hasn't given up a run this year. There are other bullpen options coming that we have that we shouldn't be afraid to hold on to these guys to get rid of money like Josh Donaldson.
Especially if you're trying to upgrade that left field position. And if you listen to all the rumors, Cody Bellinger, the Yankees are rumored to be in on Cody Bellinger.
They have to be.
If we want to add Cody Bellinger, like Dane said, we have to get under the luxury tax, because I don't think Hal Steinbrenner is going to give Brian Cashman the okay to add on the rest of that money from Cody Bellinger and go over that luxury tax threshold, like Dane was saying.
And by the way, $5 million over.
Yeah. $5 million, that's over. We're going to throw it around real quick. We're going to do rapid fire before we get up out of here. Unpopular opinion. Tonight, the Yankees face the Texas Rangers. We face them for this series over the weekend. What's your expectations? What do you think this team needs to key in for? And if you have the secret juice from Space Jam that Bugs Bunny was drinking, maybe you should give it to this team. What's your take, Pop?
Yeah, they need it. I would expect much. Wouldn't expect much from this series. I would expect them a lot of the same. Even though Texas is also not the last 7, they haven't been as hot as they were in the past. But I just don't see us hitting. Where our OPS the last 7 games is under 600. They're over 800, so they're still at least hitting. So I wouldn't expect much. Maybe a win, if not a sweep, unfortunately.
Jerry, same question going your way. When it comes to the series against Texas, what's your expectations? What do you think are keys for this team to focus on in order to be competitive during the weekend?
Okay, this is going to be a nightmare. I expect them to lose all 3. And
so positive.
If they play like the circus and can't hit, it's going to be the same results, just like Casey said. Keep the players out there, the same results.
Jonathan, hopefully it's not a nightmare in your head. What's your thoughts for the weekend? What's your keys for this team in order for us to not be embarrassed, or like Jerry said, for it not to be a nightmare this weekend? What's your take, Jonathan?
Well, unless they call up Judge before the game today, I don't expect the offense to have. I don't expect the offense to have more than 2 runs a game, or maybe even 5 hits. And the pitching, it'll be. I think Texas will be basically the curse of Duran now instead of the curse of Bambino.
L.I. Yankee King, the top troll in the Yankee community. Same question going your way, my guy. When it comes to this weekend against the Texas Rangers, what's your expectations? And if you have any secret recipes you could give this team, just give it to them by now and stop holding out. Go ahead, L.I. There we go. Okay. All right. Okie dokie. A lot of confidence, L.I. I appreciate that. Sunil, same question going your way. When it comes to this team, when it comes to the weekend, what is your expectations, baby boy?
So there's a poll choice of A through D on who would win this series between the Yankees, the Rangers, the umps, and the weather. I'm selecting option D, the weather, because as long as Josh Donaldson is here and he's got that moniker around him, the bringer of rain, there's going to be rain this entire weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm actually hoping for a 3-game rain out. Maybe maybe MLB will either sporadically reschedule these games during the strategic off days for 2 teams.
When they're playing in Dallas, you could wish for bad weather, all right? But we're in New York
City. Actually,
I want to enjoy my weekend, so I don't want rain this weekend, Sunil, okay?
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking about only the context of the baseball games. You can enjoy your weekend. Nobody's taking that away from you. But right now, the rain can help this team get some recoup, rest. We got injuries up the wazoo. I'm going to throw in a bonus take here.
Go ahead.
For every time Josh Donaldson comes to bat, you guys have probably all heard the song from Led Zeppelin, Your Time's Gonna Come. That should be his walk-up song.
Dane, same question going your way, my guy. When it comes to this team this weekend, what's your expectations? And if you have a secret prospect that the Yankees should call up that's at the DSL level, who it is, let us know. Help us out.
Call John Cruz up. He had 15 RBIs in 2 games last week. So, no, I'm just kidding. He's 17 in the DSL. I don't have a lot of hope as long as there's no accountability on this team until somebody is held accountable for the mess last night, for Gleyber Torres constantly making the mental errors. I don't have hope on this team being a playoff organization, much a World Series organization. So this weekend, it's very up in the air. I have no expectation.
Like you said, Dane, the secret word or the word for the day when it comes to the Yankees should be accountability. TC, my fine co-host, close us out. Let us know your thoughts, and let's get ready for this weekend. TC, go ahead, Papa.
Yeah, it's gonna be a total turnaround miracle. They're gonna DFA Donaldson. They're gonna bring up Florial. IKF's bat leadoff. Bowers, McKinney, Florial. Boom! They're gonna go on a tear up Texas. It doesn't matter. We got it.
You hanging out with LI Yankee King too much. That's what that is.
Hector, go
ahead. Probably get swept. So
go ahead, Jonathan. Before we get out of here,
I just woke up, so sorry.
I don't think there will be any accountability for this team unless they miss the playoffs.
No, yeah, I'm right there.
Unless the Yankees miss the playoffs, you're going to see the same.
I said it. The only way change is going to come yesterday. The only way that change will happen if dark days come ahead. That's the only way change will happen. If we finish below 500, if we don't make the postseason, that's the only way.
I don't really see the Yankees ever winning with Boone.
No,
I think he just makes too many mistakes.
Go ahead, before we get out of here.
Accountability is an SAT word. Apparently, both Cashman and Steinbrenner failed their SATs. All right, and it was on a simple question in an analogy format. Cashman is to accountability as Josh Donaldson is to blank. I mean, it's that simple.
The crazy shit is you get like 700 points just from writing your name, and they ain't write shit in the name category. But appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you guys for the open panel. My guy, Unpopular Opinion, Big Time Jerry, Jonathan, Dane, Sunil, and LI Yankee King. Of course, my guy TC Stills. We appreciate everybody for showing up. Smack that like button on the way out of here if you guys haven't smacked that like button. And like always, peace out.
Peace out.
I'm the main event. Ain't no back before. Let's get it. Hollis in the G. Yeah, really get love. Won't get with it. Ain't nobody in front of me. 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 You can try to prove me wrong and try to give respect, but who we looking for if there was no one left? Ain't nobody in front of me. Ain't nobody in front of me. Ain't nobody in front of me. Ain't nobody in front of me.
Look, I don't really see y'all as the competition, but if you go against me, you the opposition. But if you want to look like you can close the distance, I'ma give it A forever since you're so persistent. With you, I'm just practicing, cause I'm back to back. Let's get back to winning. As a matter of fact, I'm not that forgiving, cause you did this.